Oh, I'm live already. See, I thought I had to press different buttons or do something, but here we are. So here we go. Real Talks, day 2. And what is so great about Real Talks is I'm showing up with my blanket every day, because what only those people really close to me keep a secret is that I travel with my blanket. I love my blankie. I'm kind of like a weird child in that way, but that's okay. So what was so great, and thank you for people who commented and sent me messages yesterday. I was actually very surprised and happily surprised. But I actually did get a question from someone, and I said, if you have a question or you want to know something, let me know. So today I'm going to talk about how I got into nutrition and where that all started from. And it may be a surprise to some, so you'll have to see, or maybe not. But again, I'm going to be real and we're going to talk about that. So I got into nutrition. I've actually always been someone who's enjoyed physical fitness and sports. Growing up, I played soccer, I played softball, I was a cheerleader. Oh, shocking, I know. I was in dance, swimming, skating, like, you know, you name it. I think my parents were awesome and kind of allowed me to go in anything. I remember, I think it was baseball. I quit baseball because, or soccer, maybe both of them actually, because I didn't like to get dirty. So, but I did really love sports. I've always loved sports and been into health and nutrition. But when I was, I'm thinking 17 or 18, some of you may know the story, but I came home one day and said, I'm going to be a vegetarian. And I remember my mom so clearly. She said 2 things to me. She said, are you a hippie? And I didn't know what a hippie was, but I guess at that time, not that I want to age myself, but my birthday's tomorrow, so kind of aging myself. She said to me, are you a hippie? Because I guess people were only a vegetarian if they were hippie. And to be honest, I didn't know what that was or what she was talking about. It's like, I'm pretty sure I'm not. I just didn't want to eat meat. And the second thing she said to me was, well, you don't even like vegetables. And I was like, oh, okay. And I guess it goes back to what I spoke to yesterday. Game on, mama, because if she didn't think I was she just thought it was a phase. It wasn't going to last long. She kind of just dealt with it. So it's been like almost 30 years now of being a vegetarian, or I can't really call myself a vegan because I'm not picky when I go out of the house, but I definitely am when I'm in my home. So, and that's really when the journey for nutrition started for me. Like I said, I've always been passionate, always been very curious, always been really interested in it, but I didn't really start looking into and exploring nutrition to the depth in which I did until I realized I don't know what I'm going to eat, because vegetarian at that point really wasn't a thing. There weren't choices like there are today. You'd go to a restaurant and it's like, well, you could maybe get a plate of fries. Like, there really wasn't the options that there are today. So I had to really start getting creative. I had to really start looking into things, looking how to get my nutrients. But what also happened, which I will share this today, is I also became a vegetarian because I had an obsession over my weight. And I was never big. I was never like overweight. But in my mind, I was like, oh my gosh. In my mind, I was. So my journey actually started from a really unhealthy place. My journey started from me wanting to lose weight or me wanting to control something in my life. And like so many, I don't want to just say women, because men and women all suffer eating disorders. But my journey really started from a place of unhealth, not health. I convinced myself, I told myself, oh, I'm so healthy, I exercise, I pay attention to my food. I told myself, I convinced others that it was from this place of health, but it was really an obsession. It was really unhealthy. And the more I tried to control what I was eating, the more I tried to lose weight, the more like perception just gets confused in your mind. And I fully got an eating disorder. So I ended up, I was never bulimic, but definitely anorexic, where I would not eat. And I remember so clearly calling my mom on the phone, and maybe I was like early 20s, and I called her and I said, I just started crying. I said, I don't know what's wrong with me. I see the sandwich, I want to eat the sandwich, but I couldn't eat it. Like, it's so fascinating, the mind, and how it distorts things, and how I couldn't grasp the fact that I wasn't what I thought I was. Like I wasn't this overweight. And even if I was overweight, I mean, there's no justification for that, or in whose eyes, right? But I remember I remember being in that kitchen. You know, there's some moments in your life that you so clearly recall. And that's one of them. I remember being in that kitchen. I know whose house I was in. I know I was standing at the island, and I know I called my mom crying, saying, I want to eat the sandwich, but I can't. And I remember her being so sad for me just to do it, and you could do it. And, you know, I'm really lucky that I have such an incredible family. There's so much of my journey, and I was able to work through that low place or low period in my life and work through that. And I'm so blessed, and I am healthy, and you know, I've always have promoted health, and it's this passion for me. But I would be lying if I said that it doesn't creep up sometimes. And I absolutely, and I think that's what made it even more of a passion for me, is because I really do understand that disconnect, and how sometimes we can't see ourselves how we truly are, and how the mind can just go to this negative place. And it really had gone to negative place for me. And although I'm strong now, and I know I'm in such a good place, it still can sneak up. It can still sneak up. And I hear it from people all the time, and I see it even in myself all the time, where we'll look in the mirror and focus on the places you don't like, or look in the mirror and think that you are not pretty enough, or you're overweight, or you're whatever that looks like. And, you know, to have freedom of that is a big part of why I do what I do, why I'm so passionate about what I do. So nutrition is definitely the foundational piece. It's a huge part of my life, but just recognizing that it started from unhealth. It definitely started from unhealth. And I can confidently and strongly say now that it is a place of health and of confidence and of knowledge. But even with that, when we have demons, when we have things that were challenges for us, they always sneak back in and challenge us, especially when we are having struggles, or, you know, there's something else going in your life. Those places that were once our demons, they do sneak back in. So it's so important to have that strong foundation. It's so important to have your family, your circle, your friends, your support, your mentors. Know what it is you stand for. And also know that no matter where you are in your journey, you don't need to be there. You can be anything. You can do anything. You can overcome anything. And my battle, what I struggled with eating, actually has translated into a career that I'm so incredibly passionate about, a business with my husband that I'm so incredibly passionate about. And I've really been able to, I feel, educate and support others, including my own family. And I'm forever grateful for that. So to the person who asked me, how did I get into nutrition? Great question, because most wouldn't think it came from a place of unhealth, but this is where we are, and that is my journey. So thank you for joining me today, day 2 of Real Talks. I will see you tomorrow.